Okay, so I think we are in the air now. Good afternoon to everyone, and welcome to our new webinar series, Chai Science Diplomacy. My name is Samrat Kumar. I'm the country coordinator for Eurexis India. And as most of you might know, science diplomacy is the use of scientific, technological, and academic collaborations among countries, regions, and societies to address common issues and to build sound international partnerships. These collaborations can help to address global challenges, promote understanding, and also help to work on solutions to our common problems. Now, every month, we will invite science diplomats from Europe who are living in India, and we will invite them for a cup of tea and ask them about their experiences of being a science diplomat in India, about their career path, about opportunities for cooperation, and we will also ask them some more private questions as well. The aim of this webinar series is to get an insight into the ongoing science cooperation between India and Europe through the perspectives of science diplomats. And I think that's really a great opportunity for us that we have many science counselors from Europe living and working in India, and who can really share with us their experiences throughout the next coming months. Now, it gives me immense pleasure to inaugurate this webinar series and to have the first cup of tea with a very special and dear guest, Ms. Tania Friederichs, Minister Counselor, Head of the Research Innovation Section at the European Delegation here in New Delhi, India. Tania, a very warm welcome. We are very happy to have you here with us. And we will just give you a few informations regarding this webinar. As you see, we already have the slide for you. There will be opportunity for you also to ask questions to Tania at the end of the session. But before that, we will start, and we want to know a little bit more about Tania as a person. So let's go straight into the conversation, Tania. And could you kindly tell us a bit about yourself, your background, and how you ended up here in India?
Right. Well, thank you very much, Samrat, for this warm welcome, and good afternoon to everybody. Maybe also good morning to some that joined from Europe. In this global world and with these Zooms, we never know. And also let me congratulate you on that initiative. It's one way of illustrating the importance of science diplomacy that is taking shape over the last 5 years, and certainly between Europe and India, as you said, demonstrated by the number of scientific counselors that there are, not only by the European Union and the member states, but all the major partners are embodying now cooperation on research, on science, on technology in their partnership, and that is very much to be welcomed. As usual, and that is me. So you wanted to know who is me. I speak always a bit longer than I should before I answer to your question. Who am I? My good name, as they say here in India, is Tania, and I'm so happy that India has that habit of dropping the family name, because even for myself, pronouncing my family name is sometimes a challenge. In asking who I am, I'm sure that although many of you may know me, I'm Belgian, which means I'm really from the old heart of Europe, one of the founding members of the European Union. And by training, I'm a lawyer. So I want you to back with me when sometimes I'm exposed to all these high-level scientific events. As a lawyer, it's not easy, but sometimes you scientists, you also need the lawyer. So I hope that we are a good partnership. I have worked for 3 years as a private practitioner, and I'm taking a little bit of time to say that because maybe there are young scientists here, researchers who are looking for their way to make in life. And let me say that these 3 years that I worked as a private lawyer were very formative and informative for me. I do not regret it. But then I always was interested kind of in policy and international dimension. And that is how I ended up being in Brussels, the headquarters of the European Union, working for the European Commission. And a big part of my work was on trade policy. And the other part, because I'm not that young, also equally long part is on research and innovation policy. And I'm very happy that today both are very interlinked. So both of my experiences are quite, if I can say myself, relevant for the job that we have to do. Now, how I ended up on doing research in India is a really pure coincidence. And that is sometimes the road not taken in life, you know. It's almost a bit that for me, in the sense that, again, many of you know that our research program at European level to engage in research and innovation is called Horizon 2020. And somebody within the hierarchy asked me, "You've been for a long time on research, what would you like to do?" And I said, well, definitely different horizons, by which in fact I meant not any longer always preaching cooperation and research and innovation, Horizon 2020 is good for you, but really doing something else. And then they said, if you want different horizons, we have the job for you, India. And then I said, oh my God, India. I don't know India. I've never been to India. India is unknown to me, but the next day I accepted, and here I am. Thank you very much.
It sounds like, Tania, a match made in heaven. Your name already is Indian, and that's always I've witnessed many times when we went to meetings, events, that when you introduced yourself, everybody had all the Indian participants had a happy smile on their face because they recognized the name Tania. Oh, said, oh, it's an Indian name. So I think it was kind of destiny that you came here to India, and for that we are of course very happy that you know, we had this nice years together. So it has been 5 years almost, Tania, right, since your arrival in India. And another question which I wanted to ask you is like, you have been instrumental in establishing EU-India collaboration in the research innovation section. Let me say that, let me keep that statement. In your view, what worked? What were the successes in these collaborations? And have you also experienced some challenges and maybe also what one could call failures? Could you tell us about that?
Yeah, I forgot to tell you that in my, as India would say, previous life or work, I did work on trade policy in the World Trade Organization. And from there, I knew to negotiate with Indians. And one thing I remembered is that they are fantastic negotiators, very recent, but it is an uphill battle. And eventually we come to a compromise. And that experience in trade, I have to say, that is what I've seen, that in 5 years we have built it up. It's really nothing to do with me, but when I came here, and as you say, almost 5 years ago, which I'm saying, oh my God, time is flying, for various reasons, nothing to do with persons or personalities, there was not much cooperation going on any longer between Europe and India. And I find that terrible, because I thought we are such a scientific, well, Europe, we are a house of knowledge, scientific power, we do a lot in research, our development is underpinned by new technologies, products and services. And I saw all these vibrant scientists and interested and motivated scientists, and I couldn't accept that we didn't meet and match and did things together. So we tried very hard, and I was very happy in trying. trial by error that I was always supported by the team. I have Dr. Vivek Dham in the section, and Kinchit Bahani, and Tania, don't try. It won't work. It won't work. No, that will never work with India, and that you shouldn't do. And that we have tried, and that maybe, but it will take a long time. So we kept hammering, and we found pockets of cooperation. And so that is important, because then you build up kind of success stories as well, and also for your own sake, it's good that you can show that you have done certain things. And I mean, the figures are there to say that we have done quite a substantial number of things. And I mean, it's not yet the time to make up to do the assessment. But one thing I'm extremely happy about and proud, because it's been a long history of all that yes and no and how and what and even why, is that we have engaged with Europe and India, Department of Biotechnology, on aiming to find a vaccine for a new generation vaccine against influenza. And we reached out for that. That was also very interesting, the amount of knowledge there was on that topic here, even if at the beginning people questioned why that topic. And then the whole background of that topic, we have to do it because we could have a pandemic. And we were promoting that and encouraging people to work on that, even if people said it's not any longer the topic, but there was scientific evidence that we could have a pandemic, not necessarily, well, and that we wouldn't be prepared. And then, of course, because of all that reading, then 8 months later we had a pandemic of a different nature, but still all that reading and the fact that we worked with Europe and India on that topic, that makes me that's a very satisfactory feeling, and I'm very much looking forward to this to the development of these projects. And the other thing that we can come to that is, of course, I will come to that later, is the research that we do on energy, smart grids, because it's also something that will help greening the economy. And that is something that India and Europe have to work together. And then another thing is social sciences and humanities. We have concluded an agreement on that topic, but still, I don't understand. I mean, such a pocket of opportunities and good social scientists in India and in Europe, and we barely work together. And that is to our detriment in the longer term, because through social sciences and humanities, we will know each other better, we will exchange information, and it will also help in the uptake of other areas. So I would say, yeah, we started almost from scratch, and by hammering and working hard, not giving up, the uphill battle mentality, we can be proud that we have achieved certain things, but there is more to achieve. I'm more interested in the untapped potential, but I'm sure we can come to that.
Very nice. I think a very good summary. I joined Euraxis in 2018, and you came in 2016. So when I met you, you were already on, on the race. You were already on the train, and things were already moving. And I was always, very astonished about, how many amazing co-funding calls you had pulled on the table, for both Europe and India. And but I know that's been hard work behind that, and of course you mentioned your team as well at the section, and I think really it has been very amazing to watch these years of EU-India collaboration in this sector. Tania, one thing, did you bring your cup of chai as well? I didn't see you drinking it yet.
Oh, of course, look. Oh. I do like India now, or Indians. I have my, but is it already the time? Yes, around 3 o'clock they have it's a chai. Huh? You see all the people suddenly taking a little break, and they always take it in little zips, and I started to take up that habit as well. And another
with biscuit.
Yes, exactly. You didn't think of that, but I always add a little bit of my my biscuits to my tea as well. So I don't know. I have to apologize. I've been a couple of years in India, but I know so little words Hindi, so I couldn't even say, you know, what we would say in Europe, santé, tomorrow, even, of course, it's not alcohol, but I like the concept of this, especially, you know, in this virtual world that we're living now, having that idea. I was really looking forward to that moment, because I thought, oh, finally, you know, a bit of exchange of views, take it relax, have a cup of tea, have a cup of coffee. I also appreciate that you left the choice. You know, we could have tea or coffee, and that's also good, because, you know, I could have changed my mind and I would have had a coffee. It depends, but I opted for the. But I have to admit, it's not masala tea. I'm not into that. I'm not into that. So I have my little zip of black tea now, right?
And I remember, like, on these events and meetings, it is always a nice break, you know, when we have these tea breaks, and it's also a very important cultural code, you know, like over tea. In India you can discuss many things, you know, and like in Europe it would be maybe over a good glass of wine. And
yes,
in India, it's over a good cup of tea that many people discuss and share in the breaks of meetings and conferences. Talking about culture and India, Tania, it brings me to our next question. You have traveled to many parts of India, as we know, and some of those travels I've also been part and part of the regional tours we used to do. What would you say have been the most memorable places for you during your 5 years and your travels here in India?
Well, first I would like to challenge you, Samrat. You know, I like to do that, but you said traveling a lot. No. I worked a lot. And therefore,
Yes.
I didn't travel enough. So that's the first lesson I take away from my stay here. By the time I wanted to travel, because I felt like we have consolidated a cooperation, well, then we had the pandemic, unfortunately. Then I'm always a bit slow, but definitely any travel we did, and unfortunately, also thanks to the very skilled organizational skills of Vivek, we reached out with the member states to many corners of India where I would never have been, and then yes, we are human, so we try to keep some free time for ourselves, late at evening or very early in the morning, or if we could afford to stay a little bit after the workload on the Friday. And I've seen through that way a mix of things, and many things, but I definitely take away with me and the experience. And I'm sorry, Samrat, I don't think you were there, you had to leave, but we went to this very famous rich temple in Andhra Pradesh, Tirupati, and we queued, and we went very slowly, step by step, and until the momentum, you come closer to the dais, and the devotion and all that. That was kind of a very, very special experience, also because I did experience it with two close colleagues, friends. So that was very special and unique. But then we also were in the backwaters of in Kerala, and that is also very, very nice, very special, very like different rhythms of life. a couple of places where cultural heritage comes up, and that's Hampi or Orcha and Kujuharu. But yes, I have to say, I also very much enjoyed to go to Goa and having the very leisure time. Goa is special. Goa is very special, and that's about it. So I haven't visited half of what many have done, and I hope still to visit a couple of things. But let me also say that I like Delhi a lot. So I feel like the weekends when you can go to different parts of Delhi, and that is also a good change. And there are gems here and places everywhere where you go in India, and you take your time is like an experience. So you don't necessarily have to travel very far. Just it's kind of an experience every day. So, but traveling is certainly part of the stay and the memories, and certainly those that we had the chance to do together.
Yeah, what comes to my mind is one time the EU delegation took us to the Northeast, and that was kind of an adventurous and exciting tour. And also, I think one of our last travels was to this beautiful place in Karnataka, Dharwad, where we also had the chance to meet some of our colleagues' friend and listen to a private sitar tabla concert also. So as you said, it was always an excellent combination of working very hard until late, like early morning, but taking also the time to explore some of the beautiful and diverse culture of India together.
Yeah, yeah, I do remember that as well. That was unique, that sitar concert that we got in the house. The hospitality of the people, how small their houses are. We can all come, we can all join, we can all share the chai and the snacks, and just be, have the feeling just being together is already a journey. And that is very, very, very nice. And but that music was fantastic. I think we have to thank Srini for that. Huh?
Absolutely.
He opened that door. He opened that door for us, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
Srini has been like a cultural guy. Yeah.
Because that build up adds to the bonds that we have established. Even if we worked hard, or maybe because we worked hard, we established throughout also very good bonds, and that is good. And in between, how many times did we talk about the potential? And we have done a promotion event of 150 people, and we got all the questions. We had explained, and we got the same questions, and then we were wondering how much cooperation would result from that. Yes, we have to do it. Research and innovation is something that you have to continue to create awareness about it, about the importance of it, about the fact that it can help, it can solve solutions, and especially connecting, matching, bringing the minds together. Because I do believe that we always gain if we go international. I'm very much seeing the things through an international lens. It is difficult practically, and also bringing different people's agendas together, but we learn from it and we gain from it. That I am very much convinced, especially EU India.
Yeah, and as you said, like bringing different agendas together, different people, and organizing those events about EU-India collaboration, of course, needs hard work and is sometimes challenging. And there's one event, Tania, which I always envied you. I was not able to attend. That was a very interesting conference on penguin research, polar sciences. And surprisingly, that took place on the Andamans, Tania.
Yes.
I think that I missed something, right?
But there were no penguins. There were no penguins. But yeah, of course you missed to be with us, and we always had a good time. But you see, this is a typical example of it was brought together by the Ministry of Earth Sciences, and I wanted to do it there. And we were a little bit questioned, like penguins, Andaman, that doesn't look straight, right? It's like you want to go on holiday. I said, no, if I want to go on holiday, I go to Nicobar and all of these islands. I don't need to. There was a conference there, and Vivek will certainly remember how much I was involved in that conference. I mean, people said, come on, let's go and see the islands and let's walk. And I said, no, I want to listen. We haven't matured on the project, but I'm sure that something will, because there's a whole bunch of people that are studying the behavior of the penguins, and through that behavior, measuring their resilience and also understanding better how that species, the penguins, so far, but not maybe unconditionally any longer, is resistant to climate change. And you see how we did the circle again? It's science, experiences, all kind of beings, all passionate scientists, a mix of people, neurologists, nanotechnologists, social sciences, veterinary, and the amount of research that came to the surface there, and that wanted to do that common denominator of analyzing the animal behavior of that penguin to understand better what is necessary, how to combat climate change, was very interesting. But let's also, I'm sure that you want to know, you were not there, so yes, we swam in the sea early in the morning, and we went and visited the mangrove, so that was all very new for me. That was so special. And yeah, that was a very beautiful mission as well. But again, I hope that you can see from my memories that it's this mix of being in a different environment and meeting the scientists, and also because you meet them out of your normal work environment, you know, it allows to talk more and all that. So yeah, you're well briefed, Samrat.
Yeah, and it shows again, Tania, your answer shows that for you, work comes first when you travel. You first want to be, you know, focus on the work. And even if the surrounding is so attractive and so distracting, like the Andamans, you still, I'm 100% sure you were working very hard on that conference. And then after the conference, you took your free time. And that shows how professional you have been all in every circumstances, which I have witnessed and also others. One more thing we wanted to know from you, Tania, is, you know, you were saying to be passionate about your science, but passionate about your work. And also we wanted to know, like, being a female diplomat, how has your experience been to work and live in a country like India, which is, of course, in terms, has difference to Europe or other countries. So if you could share a bit about that, also your experience.
Yeah, I mean, when I said in the beginning, I came here by accident almost, so really had no prior preparation. And they said, yeah, well, different horizons, you go to India. Of course, you discuss it with a number of close people. And then they say, you as a woman going to India? No way. What is going on? And of course, I had read in the press about rapes and all that. But no, nobody could stop me after a little bit of reading and the potential of India, of coming to India. And I'm so glad I did. And, you know, sorry, I haven't experienced anything, you know, diplomatic world that would be pro or con being a woman. To tell the truth, not in Europe, not in India. But of course, you have seen it as well. I mean, you've come with us to diplomatic events and all that. There is a diplomatic level, which is our major area of entertaining. There's quite a gender balance. But I was invited by the Secretary of the Department of Biotechnology, Dr. Swaroop, to a big conference that she had set up on gender in science. And again, you know, then you say, okay, let's go. And I really started being passionate by all the presentations, the mapping of the women in science, how India has done it compared to how we are doing it and all that. But let me use that little chat today to say how I was shocked to learn how much harassment female scientists have to undergo. And there I thought, oh my God, I am in a different world. And we have a lot of testimonies of that, and of all kinds, working in the lab, but also of being prevented from promotion, of being not well peer reviewed and all that. And it was evidence-based, you know, it was not just like, but at the same time, in that same conference, I also saw how women are strong and good, and Professor Kang was there and she spoke. I mean, she is an uncontested brain on biology and others, and spoke very well. But also what I saw is a lot of young women entrepreneurs, and very vocal, very committed. So that does not yet balance that harassment that Indian women seem to experience, which I have not experienced. And I've been gone out a lot by myself, but always presumably more in protected areas compared to really being pretty, I don't know, but so far so good.
Yeah, and I think also the European Union is very much, you know, fostering, you know, gender equality in research, and we have a very strong agenda on that, and also are a leading example how female researchers, you know, are having their excellent careers in Europe, and also many Indian PhD and postdoc students who we have met and also who gave testimonials always have emphasized, you know, Europe as being very gender equal, and I think that you know, gives also hope that this will also come in of course in other countries areas as well. And but thank you for your honest reply on that. And we see that there are also questions coming in.
Let me just take advantage to say that those that listen and will prepare projects with us, we have changed the rules of participation, and really gender balance becomes mandatory in our research projects, collaborations. So it was already kind of, we looked already at it, like for example, if you would have two projects that would be evaluated at the same level, one project would have had more females, that one would be retained. But no, it is mandatory to have it evaluated that you do consider the gender balance in your consortium. So little steps that helps, and so we will all get familiar with working with an equal number of women and men, and that is important. And it's not only important because of the complementarity of the brains, or because everybody should have the same rights and chances. Obviously, what we are doing all day, you and Samrat and others, is pleading for more investment in research, and we have challenges, we have problems, and we believe very much that increased investment in research, therefore doing more research, will require more researchers. Hence, we need also the women to take this role and these jobs. And I would just say, from women to women, just go for it. Don't let anybody step on your toes.
Thank you for this, Tania. I see that questions are coming also from the audience. I would like to take some of them also, and also looking at the time. I think it would be nice to also have the audience, the attendees also being part of it. So I go ahead with the first question from Mr. S.K. Varshney. Tania, what is your special moment in India, one you could be proud of being associated with and gives a fulfillment to both Indian and European communities?
Oh, there you take me really by surprise, Mr. Varshney. There are many, but you asking for one. Maybe Vivek has to help my memory. Was there anything that I was more happy or pleased or I was always happy when I met with DST and we had a good argument and a good exchange, and then afterwards we made it. But that's maybe no. Yeah, reaching out to two-tier cities was also always very nice, because that felt like you were spreading the news, and not only to the IITs, which I also believe is necessary in India and elsewhere. I will think about it and let you know on the 31st of August when I really leave, Mr. Varshney. What was my best moment?
Because it can still come, right? Your best moment could still come.
Exactly.
Yeah. Tania, there's also a question. Some or many of us know that you will be soon ending your tenure here in India and you will heading back to Brussels. And what will you take from your work and stay here? Is there anything already, like, have you already started thinking about it? Are you already in that process, or you're still like focused on your day-to-day work?
No, I mean, my narrative when I go back is that, you know, long time ago, I read a book in the US, and a judge was saying that young lawyers, if they had to make it, they had to go west, young men. He did dare to say, or could say at that time to the men, but it's more than 14 years old. My narrative is definitely going to be destination India. I mean, Europe should really look much more at India for various reasons, but we have an untapped potential. We share the same values. We can do fantastic things together. So my mission, whatever, that could also be culturally, that can also be privately, that can also be, you know, on art and on all that. But India is not on the map. We could work on that. That is also in part India, but there's so many in Europe that don't know India, or know India through the lens of yoga and spiritualism and the food, but there's so much more. And that really I will hammer on going back to Europe. So you're not rid of me. I want to continue this bonds with India, but then seen from Europe.
You will be one of the best ambassadors for India in Europe then. And Tania, I really want to take this opportunity also to thank you on behalf of Your Access for all the great support, the collaboration, you know, your enthusiasm, also you're always being there for Your Access over the years. And of course, I also want to thank you for your being such a, you know, professional, your professional work ethics, which is really to be admired, a very kind personality, and also fun to hang out with, you know, also after the meetings and events. I think it was always very fun and memorable. And also one thing which I always really appreciated is that you always took the time, or you take the time to listen to people. It doesn't matter from where they are, if they are students or researchers or ordinary citizens, you know, every tea break, I always remember swarms of people surrounding you, and you're taking the time for everyone, and being very kind and responsive to their questions, also with the students. So that's something which I think is really remarkable about you. And of course, the regional tours with Vivek and the colleagues, of course, unforgotten memories. And one thing also, I'm very happy that you made it to the Science Slam finals in 2019 in Kerala, which was really, I think, a very nice and fun event to have together. And who would have known that this would be our last physical event together? After that, the pandemic started, the global pandemic, and we have since then not organized an event physically anymore. So since today, the focus is on Tania Friederichs, many colleagues wanted to take the opportunity, Tania, to express their gratitude to you. And for this reason, they have recorded some testimonials. And we would like to play them now for you, Tania. Let me just put on my screen, and 1 second, sorry about that. Is my screen visible, Tania?
Yes, I can.
Okay. Yeah, okay, here we go.
Oh, we can't hear.
Okay, 1 second, I have to take off my headphones. 1 second. 1 second, Tania. Okay, I'm starting. Ready? Can you hear now? Can you hear it?
Yes.
Any manifestation of Indian culture. She has also been the glue that has allowed an equally amazing group of colleagues to achieve wonderful results and share memorable moments together in Delhi and in many, many different parts of India. In all the moments, I think Tania has always been herself, and this genuineness is something that everyone has perceived and is probably the secret of her success here. This is also why I like her, and I hope that this friendship will last even beyond this Indian experience. I can only say one more thing with an expression commonly used among friends in Rome. Ciao, Bella.
It's very difficult. I work in scientific ministry, and as a part of my responsibility, I used to meet a lot of people from India and abroad, but rarely, very few people could touch my heart. In that way, Tania is very special. I found her very dedicated and very simple person. At the same time, she is very committed. Because of her personal involvement, we could
Samrat, don't mute, then we cannot hear.
on a very unusual subject on social networks of penguins. She came wholeheartedly. Whenever I told her, he accepted our invitation, and she came with Vivek, and that was a very happy participation. We were so happy. We hope that this kind of involvement and relationship will continue to grow.
When I came to India, when we first met, she gave the impression of being ambitious, targeted, in search for deliverables, and with some pretty pertinent questions. I'm convinced that this starting point, combined with her openness, her ability to learn, to listen, and to allow herself to change strategy, has moved the Indo-European collaboration in great steps forward. It's been an absolute pleasure to collaborate and to travel with Tania. And the key has been mutual trust in order to pull in the same direction and having a great amount of fun at the same time. I must say that the regional tours, they have been valuable on so many dimensions and have really underlined the importance of SDI in meeting the global challenges. Tania's sense of humor, her joy, her honesty and curiosity combined with professional dedication has been a great inspiration and motivation. And I wish her all the best for her last months in India and for the next chapters to come.
Hi, Tania. This is Freek from the Netherlands NBC here. I wanted to thank you for all that you've done to improve the bilateral ties between Europe and India. You've been an amazing colleague to work with, and you've worked tirelessly to strengthen collaboration. I will miss our coffees at the Italian Cultural Center in Cara and our walks through Nehru Park, but I look forward to seeing you in Brussels soon.
Hello, Tania. Working with you has been an absolute pleasure. You know, it's rare to find collaborators with a combined sense of getting things done and getting it done really well. I have so many memories, you know, of creating very, very transformative international programs with you, and most importantly, enjoying every interaction with you down the road. I first met you, Tania, I don't know if you remember, at the kickoff meeting of the EU-India Innovation Partnership in Brussels in 2018. And then, you know, you came across as a strong female leader with great energy and enthusiasm to drive change. It's been such an enjoyable experience. You remember when we met in Estonia with all the stakeholders, and then for the third networking event in Delhi, it's all been so much fun. And, you know, the most important thing is, you know, I've always admired the way you work with speed and focus, and, you know, always try to make the impossible possible. And I tell myself, yes, it takes a Tania to make things happen. And I'm really ever grateful for the opportunity to work with you.
Hello, Tania. Here's a greeting from Denmark Technical University, where I am right now. I know you are still in India, and that is one of the many things that I'm impressed with by you. You're resilient, you're hardworking, and you never give up. So thank you for being a good mentor. And that I mean both as someone who's your neighbor and your colleague. And thank you for all the work that you have done to keep us together as a group. It's the friendliest group of Europeans that you can imagine. I also would like to thank you from Sune, my predecessor. Another sign of your resilience is that you have lived through 2 Danish innovation attachés. Take good care of yourself, and I look forward to hearing about what the next step is in your life. Thank you.
Hello, Tania. In fact, I got to know Tania in her office in, I think, Santiniketan, New Delhi, with Reinhard Glog, with my Italian friend, who is no more now with us. A few weeks back, he passed away. So he suggested, let us go to Tania Friederichs, and we had gone. So I found her such a wonderful personality. So we had lots of encouraging discussions, and she was so helpful in obtaining the final grant letter from DBT and the European Commission. In fact, I find very few person in her official capacity would do so. So that was then. Then since then we developed a very good friendship, myself, Tania, and Reinhard. So we used to meet many places, many outing for coffees, outing for dinner, and so on. So a lot of discussion, argumentative Indians and argumentative Europeans. So it was wonderful to know, it was really wonderful to know Tania as a European Commission's officer, but more so as a personal friend. So we'll be always in touch. As I understand, she will be leaving India sometime in this year, but she will be in my memories. So I'll meet you, Tania, before you leave to Belgium. And one day I will definitely come to your country. So we'll have a lot of opportunity to continue our friendship. And all the best, Tania.
Hi friends, greetings from Spain. Indeed a challenge to summarize in 60 seconds 4 years of intensive work, constructive exchange, and fabulous coordination with the research and innovation team of the EU delegation under Tania's leadership and its member states. From the very beginning, Tania and I have sympathized with each other. Being from a legal background, we both strongly advocated for open science, frontier research, minimum viable products, co-creation, or tech demonstration projects. But above all, there are three main impressions that I would like to share with you from this journey with Tania. One, it's her edgy sense of humor that most of us have experienced, have had the chance to experience at some point. Second would be her characteristic Horizon 2020 openness, embracing and constantly inviting the voice and interests of member states under the EU's roof. And third would be her constant encouragement and motivation transferred to all of us in our common shared goal of pursuing more research and innovation cooperation with India. Tania, I would like to thank you for your generosity, and I'll always keep very warm in my mind and heart the memories of our coordination, team building, meeting experience while navigating through the backwaters of Kerala. You'll be greatly missed. All the best, Adrian.
Working with Tania for over 5 years. For these 5 years, what did Tania do? Or what did she want to do? Or what she tried to do? Many things. So many things that it is difficult to summarize it in next 35 seconds. But she went places, Tania, either in the minibus or in auto rickshaw or in trains. Wherever she went, she was a leader. She was the main attraction and she was the celebrity. But it got tough. When the going got tough, Tania got tougher. So she decided to go on pilgrimage. She goes to all possible Hindu temples, gurdwaras, and masjids all over the country. And even poor Bapuji at Sabarmati could not instill any serenity or calmness in Tania. But one thing she achieved, selfies. She was popular all over. And she even acted as a star with paparazzi. And she was very popular with young girls and boys. Those kids would say, oh, Tania, the star, she's so cool. But then those kids did not work with Tania. Wherever she went, she was a VIP, a big star. And she was well received with the lunch, dinner, cocktails. And in return, what should she give? She gave these, well, I don't even want to talk about that. And on top of that, she even winks at her prank. But let's not underestimate her contribution. She did do several things, lots of adventures, either in the energy sector for the calls on energy or fighting flu, vaccine call or MSCA and ERC. She worked a lot. But I guess her major contribution, significant contribution, was in water research. Yeah, water research. Talking of water, Tania was always highly successful in finding a watering hope. But then she would say, she's fine. She travels all the way from Kolkata to Shantiniketan and realizes that she has left all her bags in Kolkata. Tania, we love you. We will miss you dearly. We all wish you thousands of such beautiful sunsets for a long, long, long time to come. As they say, sonne con au revoir, pas un adieu. Not just a goodbye. See you soon. And talking of see you soon, in fact, Belgium is not far from where my mother-in-law lives. If I really start missing my mother-in-law, I will certainly come and meet you. Thank you very much.
Bonjour, chef. This is how I started my day since last 5 years. Tania means fairy queen, and she is literally fairy queen of Delhi diplomatic circle. Her seamless entries to all embassies, receptions, with or without invitations, marks her authority. She's never tired of running, swimming, reading, or even talking to the people. She has extraordinary perseverance, patience, maybe moderate, and creativity. She has ability to take a risk, connect people, and never give up attitudes makes her unique. In her tenure, we had achieved a lot of things of EU-India cooperation, which reached to greater heights. In some cases, we might have failed, but she always maintained quite a good relations with Indian authorities with good humor. I have wonderful memories of regional tours, workshops, events that we had organized, participated. Even our bilateral meetings with departments and ministries were quite actionful. Now you are leaving, I have to find a new partner in crime. Crème de la crème, réseau de tête, or par excellence, these are fancy words of French, are not sufficient to describe what an amazing boss and wonderful person you are. As you always say, all good things comes to an end. Now it is my turn to say it was wonderful working with you. Even though you will leave, our friendship will remain forever. Thank you for all your support and cooperation. Good luck.
Thank you, Tania. This is a small clip of colleagues, and to show their gratitude, and really the statements clearly show what an important and wonderful colleague and person you have been to them. And I think the entire research community in India will dearly miss you. But the good news is your time is not over yet. We have still a few months to go. And to put it in your own words, and still a lot of work to do. For instance, Horizon Europe, we are ready to reach out. MSCA, Marie Curie actions, postdoctoral fellowship. So you will see a lot more of Tania in the coming weeks and months on these topics. And I also wanted to take this opportunity to give a special thank to Vivek Dham and Alida Jacobsen, who have been working very hard in preparing this webinar and also editing bringing this video together for you. So as it is, I leave the last words to you. And anything you wanted to say, Tania?
I'm speechless, but still I want to say something. That's me, no? No, this is so wonderful. There are some hands behind that know me well, and some hand that I know well. So no, what wonderful. I mean, you trapped me a bit, because I was prepared to talk about research and more research and what is the potential and what are we going to do. But you brought together such a wonderful people, and many more, and we were very transparent. We showed that we had also a good time, but the figures are there. We have worked hard, but you said it all. I'm not gone. I'm about to start what we call in Europe the last 100 days, and you will hear from me every day. That I have. So just to say, are you not rid of me? And I don't know if Mr. Varshney is still on, but that makes me say that the thing that would make me happiest work-wise is if I could leave before we leave, we sign a really very good operational co-funding mechanism, and that we open the path for many more cooperation opportunities, because that's all what we have done the last years, open the path for the future, and we have to tap into that. Yes, you hear Mr. Varshney, great. So you've heard that. So I'm a bit slow, so no, I have already the answer. The most happiest moment is still to come. And that is if we come to an understanding of good co-funding mechanism, because that will allow all of us that spoke today to do more regional tours and to do more cooperation. Because I'm not doing the cooperation for the EU. I'm nobody without the member states. So as many of you said, we are really a wonderful group together, and all what we have done is that collective effort, which we need to continue. So maybe, can I say one more thing?
Sure, Tania, this is
because you have all, of course, Vivek and Elina, which I also know because we had the pleasure of working a short duration together. But there's one person here that also needs to be thanked and praised, and that is you, Samrat. You joined only in 2018, but you are for me Araxis and Araxis India. You also see wider than India, and you have an extremely good grip of your tool, of your mandate, of your mission. And it is really your tool that makes access to Europe possible, not us. And you know that when we have these conferences, I always say register to Araxis or look at their website and not at the EU delegation website. I do really mean it. You have made something so fantastic, so user-friendly of Araxis, and of course, you are behind that. We all don't always see faces of what Araxis is because people live on websites and click and click and click, but you are behind it. And all what we get and do is also thanks to you. So, and not the least this event, but I hope that this is only the opening of a new webinars series. I'm looking very much forward to other science council and share experiences to develop that science diplomacy. But for my side, beyond expectations, what this cooperation, what this first science Chai event would be, and so grateful for all the nice words. And but as I said, we will continue to work until the very last day, because after all, that's what we are here for, and it is for the well-being of everybody. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Tania. So you heard Tania. Stay tuned. In June, July, you will see much more of Araxis and the EU Delegation, the Research Innovation Section. We will bring you the new MSCA calls close to your screen, and also we will, kick off the Horizon Europe program here in India as well. So thank you so much. All of you have joined, many of the Science Counselor colleagues, but also from the Indian ministry sides, colleagues of Tania and Vivek. Thank you so much, all of you who joined in, and of course, Araxis India community as well. We will have more of these very nice Chai Science Diplomacy webinars, and we will keep you informed about the next. So wish you a nice Friday afternoon. It was a pleasure, Tania, to have the cup of chai with you.
Yeah,
and
me too, me too.
A bientôt. A bientôt. Okay. Bis zum nächsten.
Absolument.
Okay. See you next time.
Arrivederci.
Bye.
Thank you
Ciao,
so much.
Bye, everyone.
Have a very nice weekend, and get ready for next week. We keep going.
Yeah, absolutely. Take care. Bye.
Thanks,
everyone.
everybody. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you.